Britain's big Ukraine troop pledge quietly shrinks. No frontline combat, just a token force far from danger. Meanwhile in Alaska, Trump and Putin prepare to redraw Ukraine's borders. Russian cities reel from deep drone strikes. Is London stepping back, while the deal of the century is being cut without them? The UK has reportedly scaled back its plans to put troops in Ukraine, now offering a smaller reassurance force to support peace efforts in the region. The Times reported that, while a 30,000 strong group from countries that make up the coalition of the willing, a group of countries which have pledged support for Ukraine against Russia's aggression, had initially been floated, military chiefs are now said to have dropped the idea, instead favouring a smaller, more realistic operation. It comes amid fears the country could be shut out of any peace talks when US President Donald Trump and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin hold a historic summit on the future of the war in Alaska on August 15th. UK PM Keir Starmer joined Trump and European allies on a call to discuss the future of Ukraine on August 13th, where he praised the US president's work to bring forward a viable chance of an end to the devastating conflict. While Starmer had been in favour of a bigger coalition of the willing force, the Times reported that some European nations were concerned that such a large deployment to protect key Ukrainian sites was too risky. It is thought that the scaled-back force would not be sent to the front line, instead providing logistical support, armament and training experts to support the regeneration of Ukraine's own forces. However, the role the US is expected to play is still unclear. Speaking after the meeting on August 13th, Starmer said,
"We made some real progress today, a very important call with President Trump earlier on in relation to security guarantees, as Emmanuel has just set out. And as we've said all along, we, the coalition, stepping up, showing what we will do, the plans we've put forward, credible military plans, and alongside that, the backing of the US. So we stand ready as a coalition to support the meeting on Friday and everything that I hope can flow out of it. Nothing is obviously guaranteed, and as Emmanuel has said, and Friedrich has said, the President has agreed to debrief immediately afterwards so that we know what the next steps will be. But we're ready to support this, including through the plans that we've already drawn up to deploy a reassurance force once hostilities have ceased.
Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said that Putin and Trump will discuss the huge untapped potential for Russia-US economic ties, as well as the prospects for ending the war in Ukraine when they meet in Alaska. Ushakov said it was obvious to everyone that Ukraine would be the focus of the meeting, but broader security and international issues would also be discussed.
It is foreseen that everything will start tomorrow, August 15th, approximately at 19:30 GMT, with a conversation between Russian President Vladimir Putin and US President Donald Trump. The conversations will be in a one-to-one format, naturally with the participation of the interpreters. After the talks, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump will give a joint news conference to summarize the results of the negotiations. Speaking about the summit's agenda, it is probably obvious to everyone that the main focus will be the settlement of the Ukrainian crisis, including taking into consideration the issues discussed in the Kremlin, as you remember, on August 6th, with the participation of the US President's Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff. And naturally, the broader tasks of ensuring of peace and security will be discussed, as well as urgent international and regional issues. An exchange of views is expected on further developing bilateral cooperation, including in the trade and economic sphere. I would like to note that this cooperation has huge and unfortunately hitherto untapped potential. The talks will be businesslike, and naturally we are all in the mood for business.
Earlier, French President Emmanuel Macron said that the United States is prepared to provide Ukraine with security guarantees once peace is established, but NATO membership is not on the table as a possible guarantee. Speaking to reporters, Macron relayed Trump's assurances that Washington was ready to support European security after the war, but ruled out NATO membership for Ukraine. Meanwhile, a series of drone strikes hit Russia's Volgograd region early on August 14th, igniting a fire at a major oil refinery. The Ukrainian military said that the refinery processes over 15 million metric tons of oil every year, amounting to 5.6% of Russia's refining capacity. The Lukoil plant produces diesel, gasoline, and aviation fuel, crucial for Russian military logistics. Ukraine's general staff said the attack was carried out in cooperation between the unmanned systems forces, military intelligence, and other branches. In a separate incident, at least 13 people were injured in a Ukrainian drone attack on the southern Russian city of Rostov-on-Don. Governor Yuri Slyusar first reported the attack on his official Telegram channel, noting that emergency services were working at the sites of damaged residential buildings. Separately, Russia's defense ministry said that its forces had struck a number of Ukrainian missile plants, weapons design bureaus, and rocket fuel production enterprises with missiles and drones in July. The ministry said that Russian forces destroyed a number of Western missile defense systems, including Patriot launchers and fire control radar in the Dnipropetrovsk and Sumy regions that had been deployed to defend the plants.